What you say creates a frame. Frames shape focus, focus forms beliefs, and beliefs shape your perception of reality. Imagine I have a big wall and a picture on that wall. Well, the frame around the picture is creating a focus that despite its surroundings and all the things around it that I could be looking at, because of that frame, I have a better focus on the picture than I had without it. Because frames shape focus. Now, focus forms beliefs because when I focus on something for long enough and consistently enough, I tend to believe it. For example, it's about 70 degrees outside. It's pretty warm. Well, if I focus on the fact, or not a fact, but if I make up a fact saying it's cold outside, well, what I said created a frame. My mind's like, okay, how is it cold? Why is it cold? And that frame is going to create a focus, focusing on the fact that it's cold outside, even though it's not. And guess what? As I focus on that for long enough and consistently enough, I'm then going to believe the fact that it's cold outside, and my perception of reality will be inconsistent with reality because of what I said that created a frame, that created a focus, that created belief, that's changed my perception. Now you may be thinking, hey, this is not the case, because why or how would someone believe what they know is not true? Why would they have a reality that's inconsistent with what they know reality really is? Well, in my video, a few videos ago, I talked about this exact topic, how someone can believe what they know is not true. And in that video, I talked about how there are 3 stages that someone goes through to believe a lie and deny what they know is the truth. The first stage is suppression of the truth. That's when we resist the truth. We hold it back and hold it back. And the second stage is becoming hardened to the truth. That's when we have to believe a lie, and because we have suppressed the truth for so long. And that's when the third stage happens, which is being given over to a lie. It's because we have become hardened to the truth, we have to believe what we know is not true. And that's how someone can believe what they know is not true, becoming suppressed, hardened, and then given over to a lie. But in this video, I'm not just talking about having a reality that's inconsistent with what you know reality is. I'm simply saying that your perception of reality is going to be based upon your beliefs. See, perception is simply what you notice and how you choose to respond to it. So by focusing on something, I'm becoming aware of it. I have noticed it. And then my beliefs shape my reactions, my responses. Because when I believe something, my response is going to be in accordance with that belief. And that's how your beliefs shape your perception of reality. Because if I believe something, my actions are going to be consistent with that belief. To illustrate this, let's say I'm playing basketball and I hit 3 shots in a row. And when my teammates say, "You're on fire, you're on fire," well, I have at least 2 ways to respond to this. I have 2 different perceptions I can have. The first one is saying, yo, there's fire on me. I gotta get this fire off me. Well, that's gonna create a frame. How can I get this fire off me? Why is there fire off me? And that answer is gonna create a focus. Okay, I'm gonna have to go on the ground and start rolling around. And that's gonna create a belief. That's gonna create a different perception of reality. And I'm gonna act in accordance to that. And I'm gonna get on the ground and roll around to get the fire off me. Or I can respond in a different way. I can say, yo, I'm on fire, which means I hit 3 shots in a row. That's going to create a different frame, which creates a different focus, a different belief, and a different response because my perception of reality is different. Okay, what's the application? What do I need to do differently now that I know that this is the case? Well, the answer is simply found in what you say, because what you say shapes your perception of reality. So if I say something different, I'll have a different response. For example, let's say I'm having a terrible day. My dog died and I broke my leg. All right, that's a terrible day, right? Those are pretty bad circumstances. Well, it's really not. Because how bad something is not determined by its difficulty, but by your response to it. So if I respond in a positive way, those 2 events are actually good. For example, if I say I broke my leg, well, now I have more time to spend with my family, and my dog died, well, at least my family is going to be all together. Now we can all talk together. Well, that event is actually good because I respond in a good way. Okay, but how did I get to this point? How did I see 2 bad events and frame them as good to where now I have a good response to it? Well, I simply did it by changing what I said. I said, my leg hurts, this is good. Well, that creates a frame. Okay, how is it good? Why is it good? Or how can it be good? And that answer, because questions bring answers, question brings awareness, and that answer gives me a different focus. Okay, it's good because I can spend time with my family. Okay, as I focus on that, I believe, okay, that's a good thing, spending time with my family. And that creates a different response, a different perception of reality because of what I said. Simply changing what you say changes your response. And when your response is different, your results will be different. So change your frame, change your reality. If I frame something as good, I can have a better perception on it, which creates a different response to it and gives me a different reality because of it. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of content, I try to post every day a short and every single week a video, so check me out. And I have a book coming out soon, if not already, so check that out too on Amazon. It's called Controlling the Controllable: How Anyone Can Become Influential. And in that book, I lay out some of the principles of becoming influential that if you follow, you will be influential, because principles cannot lie. So check that out and subscribe, like, do all that stuff, and see you guys next week.